Are you struggling to magnetize your twin flame back after separation? Well, in today's video, I'm going to discuss these 4 crucial ingredients that you have to have that most coaches won't talk about if you want any chance of bringing them back. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button and hit that bell notification to be notified when I post new videos each week to help you along your twin flame healing journey. And in case we haven't met, I'm Dr. Luke, the Twin Flame Doctor, and I help twin flames learn the right tools and skills to help bring in union not only faster, but make it last forever. And what I'm going to discuss in my videos goes much further and deeper beyond what any other coaches will go. I'm not just doing tarot readings and, projecting how they're going to feel next week. I'm going to get down to the root nitty gritty of why are they actually running from you and how can we help bring you both back into alignment quicker so you can have that harmonious reunion. So let's jump right into it. So to begin with, one of the main things I see that goes wrong in most twin flame relationships or when they're in separation is that we don't plant enough seeds of change. That we think that they only want this one aspect to change. And they all say, well, if I stop drinking, or if I stop, cheating, if I stop doing this, or anything even basic and simple, if I help more around the house, or heck, maybe your twin flame doesn't even know that you're their twin flame. But the point I'm trying to get to is it's never just one thing. It's never the 99 things that they will tell you. It's that one thing that they won't that's actually going to destroy your union from coming together. Because what we truly have to understand is this is an inner union. So the longer you're struggling to really heal and work on yourself and come to that inner union of self-love and self-acceptance, the longer it's going to take for you and your twin flame to ultimately come back. Because there can't be any focus on your twin flame. That's the push-pull or the runner-chaser energy aspect. And it's from that energetic aspect that we truly have to understand we have to have a deep internal change. Meaning, I'm not changing to get them back. I'm not changing for my children, for my mom, for my dad, for my brother, sister, for your dog. You literally have to change because it's who you want to be. And you're doing it for yourself to create a better life for yourself and understanding that there's a possibility that your future life may not be with your twin flame. But here's where things really start to get awesome is as soon as you let go, fully surrender and let go of that connection, that's when you actually start to magnetize them back in. And what happens to all of my clients is, and I tell them this, and they don't even believe me, it's the moment when you're done and ready to walk away and you could care less, is when they start to walk back towards you. But many of the issues and things that they struggle with is once you start to see them back, you start to focus on them and you start to get that push energy again. And then we have that obsessive thinking and the hyper focus again. And then we're right back to square one where we began. And if that's where you constantly go, when you're seeing them walk back, then that's an instant big red flag to tell you that, I'm not doing this for the right reason. Well, yes, you should be happy and, you can be excited that, they're paying attention or communicating with you more. But that really should not be the driving factor for you continuing to change. You should be like, that's awesome. I did enjoy that. But I'm going to continue on my road and journey of healing. And this is where communication becomes so vital. We have to learn to be able to not play that blame game and start to blame our twin flame for the separation. Because ultimately, what you're blaming them for is also something within you that needs fixed or is broken. And for those of you who aren't even in communication or haven't even fully met your twin flame yet, again, it's all energy. Everything in this entire universe is energy. It does not matter. You attract what you are, not what you want. Well, let me say that again. You attract what you are, not what you want. So whatever's being brought to you vibrationally in your life, that is a match at any given moment. So if you want to attract love, you literally have to become love and raise your vibration to the elevation or the hertz of love. And you're asking, well, how do I do that? It's to understand that there's nothing outside of you that you can love more than being whole and present within your own body and your own being. And while that journey and path is going to look different for everyone, there are some very common similarities or commonalities that most or all twin flames have to walk through. So it's also vital that while we're walking this path, that we try to plant more good seeds of change or, really continue to grow ourselves, but we really try not to let our old self show or plant those bad seeds. That we really have to learn to stop those toxic behaviors, those red flags, and those continuous patterns, whether it's addiction, depression, anxiety, it really doesn't matter. It's truly working on growing yourself and the consistency that you are in those tough moments. Anyone can do it when it's easy, but when it's hard and let's say you're arguing face to face or even through text message, it's those moments that really are key. That's when they're watching. And I know I probably don't have to tell you all this because you're all very intuitively with energy, but they're always watching. And even if they're not watching, you can energetically feel them. So at any given time, you're in that duality or that polarity. If you're feeling, overly happy, they may be, overly sad because you're constantly playing that slingshot. And ultimately, we have to hold that center within ourselves by planting consistent actions with consistent behaviors. But do you want to know the biggest caveat or the biggest thing that twin flames especially struggle to do? You and your twin flame will never come back to union unless you cut the cord. You're saying, Dr. Luke, you can never cut the cord. Right, because it's always a heart connection. So within my program, Twin Flame Restoration, it's called Untetheredness. And that's where you bring all the energy back to yourself, back to your heart, and back to your center. And it's once you stop projecting this push energy, that's when you start to magnetize them or anyone and anything in your life back in. That is literally the art of manifestation. That it's as soon as you let go, as soon as you give up hope, and you really focus on the process of building yourself and taking the right steps every day, that ultimately you're going to get to your destination. And that's why I always say progress over perfection, because perfection is not even possible. And literally the only way we learn is by making mistakes or when we fail. And literally fail itself is the first attempt in learning. If you don't fail, you can't learn. The most intelligent people on earth have one thing in common. They have failed more than anyone else, but they've also pushed on and gotten up more than anyone else. And that's what's important. So if this video is resonating with you, what's the continuous cycle within your twin flame relationship that continuously repeats? And it seems like you just can't get off that hamster wheel. I'd really love to help you out, so please leave a comment below and I'll respond back to you as soon as I can. So this is really when the external environment really comes into play and you can really take command of this twin flame union, because it does not take two, it only takes one. And I'm about to explain it right now with energy. So when it comes to social psychology, there's something called the fundamental attribution error. And the fundamental attribution error, or FAE bias, is when we blame someone's behavior as a character flaw, meaning when they act this way, they're just a bad person or horrible person, and we just chalk it up. Instead of really slowing down and taking a look at the external environment and why are they reacting that way. And there's two examples I really like to use. The first one is, I don't care if it's a cutest little animal or a teddy bear you have backed into a corner. If you back someone into a corner, they're going to fight their way out. That is a survival mechanism. Because again, we're all hardwired with our responses. So when we take that single approach, we can understand that we can back off and take our seat of consciousness and really zoom out on what is going on that we continuously have this same argument, the same lashing out. What is it that I'm not understanding? Because it's these heightened emotions that continuously have us on this hamster wheel and keeps it spinning faster and faster. And the other example I like to use is PTSD, whether it's from war or what. PTSD is a neurosensory or neuroception disorder. And what that really means is energy, our five senses, our neuroception, is really sensing energetically the environment. So specifically with PTSD, they obviously don't have to be in the same environment, but if they hear the same sound, the same noise, the same smell, they're instantly triggered. So that's why what's called polyvagal theory, or within polyvagal theory, it's called neuroception, meaning we are completely emotional, neurosensory beings that in today's society we think we're all head, but really we're all heart and emotional bodies. And this is why I love polyvagal theory to not only just twin flames, but humans as a whole, is the vagus nerve is the longest of the 12 cranial nerves, and that's our mind to gut or mind to body connection that you constantly hear about within the science community. And what the vagus nerve really tells us, and polyvagal theory, is 80% of the neurons go from the body up to the brain, and only 20% from the brain back down to the body. So what does that really mean? What that means is our body is telling our brain what to think. So if our body's telling our brain what to think and what to feel, or like I put it, is the little pharmacist, our brain likes to, or our body likes to tell our little pharmacist in our head what type of chemicals release, and it's only being reinforced again within the body. So it's that, emotional hamster wheel. And I know you're probably asking, well, then how do I stop that? Well, we have to become emotionally regulated. We have to feel safe in our body first. And that all starts with the awareness. And if you're watching this video, I'm sure you're along that journey and you have the awareness now that something is different than anything you've ever experienced before, where you're becoming more aware of your body and, the quantum field with the psychic abilities and just getting those, you could say, ghost touches or telepathic communication. And that is just the basic understanding of once you learn to properly heal and influence your own emotional body, you can then externally influence the energetic field within the external environment. And here's a perfect way to put it is if you're yelling in someone's face and they don't yell back at you and they just stay calm, cool, and collected and say, thank you for letting me know how you feel. I really appreciate that. Can you explain a little bit deeper on what exactly this meant, or can you clarify a little bit what you meant by this? What is the likelihood that you're going to continue to, yell and scream in their face? It's probably pretty low because, again, we match energy. So when you're able to stay calm and regulated, you're able to actually influence and really, you could say, control the environment. And I say control very loosely because really the only thing you have control over is yourself and your own emotions. So it's by keeping yourself emotionally regulated and living from the heart and staying centered that you're able to then move and progress forward into creating that safe environment for your twin flame. So let's bring this all back around together to, again, the environment. How keeping a safe environment for your twin flame to interact, even energetically, even if you don't interact with them all the time, you're constantly energetically interacting with them. So this is why everyone says it's so crucial that you avoid rushing or pushing them into making a decision or forcing them to come back. Because as many of you have seen and have learned, it only is going to push them further and they're only going to run faster and further away. And here's actually one of the hardest parts of the twin flame journey. It's truly allowing your twin flame to learn their own soul lessons. That while, yes, you are one soul divided, but each part of your soul has lessons that they need to learn. And that's where we came into this life with catalysts and for, karmic partners to come in. And it's through these experiences that really help us grow the most. We have to change our paradigm on how we think. We need to understand that separation is preparation for union. Let me say that again. Separation is preparation for union. So the more you're able to focus on yourself and create that safe environment around you and completely follow and clear your energy and clear your chakras, the more it's also going to help them. And now to the fourth and final crucial key is time. We have to allow time for growth and for change. So this is where really practicing patience and staying grounded and having a strong meditation technique to where you're able to quiet that monkey mind and really set your path forward and start creating the life you want with your twin flame. Meaning, don't focus on them. Move forward as you would as if you were with them, or if they're gone on a long business trip and they're going to be back, 6 months, 12 months, who knows? I do want to caution you that your twin flame is always watching, especially if you've been in a relationship already and you have a mutual group of friends or the same network, that it's really vital that you're not seeking immediate changes. The quickest twin flame union that I typically have seen is about 6 months. 6 months from the time of separation to union. And that is an extremely quick time frame because healing takes time. And most take anywhere from 6 to, usually 12 months or 9 to 12 months for sure. That's usually the golden zone of where twin flames start to reconcile and come back together into union. Now, your definition of union may be different. That doesn't mean you could be moving back in or being married, but that's when we really start to see all that momentum and that energy build up to really these deep internal changes are now being reflected in our external environment. So again, the 4 keys are you have to make sure you're planting good seeds and the right seeds of change within your energetic field of your twin flame. And those good seeds are within yourself and learning how to properly walk the path of healing. The second is really limiting those bad seeds, meaning not allowing our same toxic behaviors or same toxic cycles to continue. And that leads us into the third one, which is creating a safe emotional environment where it's your twin flame's decision to come back. As long as you're wanting them or trying to force them to come back, they won't. It 100% truly has to be theirs. So really, 1 and 3 go together. The more good seeds you can plant and grow within yourself, the quicker you're going to be able to have these real, genuine, authentic internal changes to create that safe environment. And once you create that safe environment, it's like any good crop, you have to allow it to grow, and you have to water those seeds. You water those seeds with more good seeds, or the consistency. The more consistent you are, the more you're watering those seeds to grow and to really manifest within your life. So as you can see, there are many levels and different nuances to having the right skills and tools on how to properly heal not only yourself, but your twin flame relationship. If you're really serious about how to learn these skills faster and more reliable, then please, I encourage you to schedule your free consultation today for my 5 proven steps to twin flame restoration. And I'll leave a link in the description below. Until we meet on a call, I have handpicked these next 2 videos for you to help walk you along your journey to healing and reunion. And I'll see y'all in the next video.